Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unboxed God, where we detox from religion and discover the God who refuses to feed inside the boxes we were given. I'm Tolu Sarah Johnson, and here we explore who God really is beyond fear, beyond formulas, and beyond everything we were taught to perform. If you're hungry for a real relationship with Him, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. Still on book 7, and this is going to be the chapter 1. Book 7 is becoming who I was before religion tamed me. And chapter 1 is identity rooted in love, not fear. Knowing who you are without religion's costume. This is an interesting chapter, and it's one that I'm very excited about, and it's one that I've seen the importance of knowing that your identity is rooted in love changes the way you live your life and changes your relationship totally with your creator. And once you are able to shift your mindset from an identity that is rooted in fear to an identity that is rooted in love, you're free. You're set free. And that was what book 6 was all about. Book 6 was all about finally being set free. But once you're set free, it's not enough for you to be set free and still be there. There needs to be growth in the right direction. You need to allow God to build you up, to become who you were originally made before religion tamed you. Because for most of our life, identity was not something we discovered. It was something religion handed to us. Yes, they handed you a costume. They handed you a script. They handed you a list of expectations, a version of yourself shaped to look holy, acceptable, spiritual, even when your heart felt nothing like the mask you wore. But you obeyed, you performed, you hid, you hoped, but you never felt like the real you was allowed to breathe. And that's why you see a lot of successful people. They've got money, they've got everything they wanted, but they still feel a vacuum in them. Because of course you're distant from who you were supposed to be. All of these things that is happening is not the real you. It's good to have money, but it's good for you to connect back to your source. You don't want to live like an orphan when you are a son or a daughter of the Almighty God, and you live like an orphan, you don't even know who your father is. Of course, that creates a vacuum in your life. I've seen so many children that are adopted because they don't know their real parent. They carry that wound for life. So every one of us is carrying a wound, whether we know it or not. A wound of not knowing the child of who you are. You are the child of the Most High God, but you don't even know that you are one. And because of that, fear defines your belonging. Performance defines your worth. And approval defines your value, because you think, oh, when I have more money, I'll be valued. When I close this business, I'll be valued. When I have this so many children, I'll be valued. When I have my PhD, I'll be valued. When I have big family, I'll be valued. When I have so many houses, it keeps going. You can't fill the vacuum. You cannot fill it up, because that space is meant for your Father, who is your creator. And without realizing it, you became more fluent in appearing righteous than in knowing you are loved. That is all you've done all your life. But now, everything has changed. This is the book where you finally meet yourself as the Father always saw you. Imagine You've been Christian all your life. You've called God. You think you've praised Him. You've done all of this. And you get to heaven, you're still lost. You don't know where you belong. That's the story of so many Christians. They are lost. They are behind. Even though revival is going on in heaven, they're still behind. They're still lost. They're still feeling the impact of religion on their life. Are you going to let go of this costume, or are you going to allow this costume to follow you all your life? And what is the foundation of freedom? You are loved first. Always remember that you were loved first. You love your children first. A good parent, you love them first. And if you, an earthly parent, can do that, how much more our Creator? How much more a loving Father who provided all the things that we enjoy? Religion taught you that identity is something you earn, and heaven teaches you that identity is something you receive. But are you willing to receive it? Or do you want to continue to walk as if you need to earn it? Whereas people from other mountains, the witchcraft died in heaven, the witches that used to be witch on earth rather, that are now in heaven, they are fast ahead of you because they are taking on board the messages and they are acting on it. Well, for people listening to me on earth, this might not make sense to you. But for the people on earth, are you going to continue to waste your time in doing all of these religious activities that doesn't make sense? You can tell me, Tolu, but if I don't go to church, I can't grow. Do you want to tell me that those children that didn't go to school, that they were homeschooled at home, did they lack knowledge? Or in most cases, they are even more better than the children that went to school, because the ones that are homeschooled, their needs, whatever they're teaching them, the knowledge is tailored to their needs. It's not just one size fits all, like you are given in the church, one size fits all. Whereas you can sit under the feet of Papa and you can tailor his responses when you ask questions to your needs. Like, I love him to give me analogies. He's giving me so many, because he understands my needs and it fits my needs. I'm trying to understand his need. I know he needs a friend, so I try to make myself available. That is what happens when you have a father-loving daughter relationship. So, whatever works for you, to move into a place where you know that you are loved for. If you have to leave the church, leave. Leaving the church doesn't mean you left God. You've just left the religion that is blocking you from accessing Him. Let this healing, let these messages penetrate you. Don't just listen to it just for the sake of listening to it and not acting on them. This book should have been one book. I divided them into 7 different books. It cost me more money to publish, to do this, but I would rather do that because intentionally I wanted it to be a digestible message that is easier for you so that you can transition easily from religion to relationship. The Father never asked, are you spiritual enough? Are you disciplined enough? Are you impressive enough? Are you sinless enough? He whispers one question your whole life. Do you know you are mine? Oh my God. God is asking you, do you know you are mine? You've been lost enough. Come back home. He needs every of his children. We are all important to him. He cherishes us. We all have a space in his heart. And you know, some of you have really been hurt by religion so badly that you think that was him saying you are not, I'm not that religion that was sold to you. But I love you because you are mine. Before you prayed your first prayer, before you fasted your first fast, before you obeyed your instructions, before you became a Christian, you were already loved, chosen, known, desired, delighted in. Identity begins not with what you do for God, but what God feels for you. And He's telling you, you've done enough for me. You've done in my name. But all I want now is you. I want a relationship with you. I want you to know who you are with me, that you're so cherished. You're so loved by me. That is what I want you to know, that you are rooted in my love. You are rooted in His love. He loves you so much. He looks at you beyond human imperfections. It doesn't look at your outward flaws that the church look at. It doesn't look at the outward flaws religion looks like. But it looks at your heart. Even amidst sin and ongoing struggle, the Father still sees His creation as precious and redeemable. And to Him, you are perfect, you are holy, you are righteous. And He's telling you, see me beyond all the things that you think you've gone through, the guilt, the shame. I don't care about that. I accept you. I love you. I want you to shed this fear-based mindset. Shed it off. Let go of the constraints and the rules of the religious life. Let go. Because He longs for a relationship, and fear actively continues to block that He desires with you. Religion is evil. It's evil. It's so damaging. And it's not easy to walk away from it. But take a step at a time. That's what Holy Spirit keeps telling me. Take a step at a time. But knowing that you are cherished, you are loved by Him the way you are. And knowing that you can choose Him and you can trust Him. His yoke is easy and His burden is light. Wow. And Papa is whispering to you, my child, your identity is not built on how well you walk, but on how tightly I hold you. You were mine before you ever knew my name. I do not build identity through fear. I build identity through love. I never wanted you to impress me. I wanted you to know me. And this is why fear can never be the foundation of identity. Fear produces slaves, and love produces children. And He's tired of having slaves. He wants children. That's what He wants. So you need to lose those religious costumes. To find yourself, you must lose the self religion created. Yes, you must lose the self religion created. And this is the reality that people that are Christian in heaven that are still struggling with this religion, they need to look at themselves in the mirror and say, I must lose the self-religion created, because it's blocking me from transitioning into the fellowship I desire, I yearn for with my God. And the self that tried to be perfect, sinless, unbroken, mistake-free, endlessly strong, That self that tried to be the kind of Christian people applauded, but heaven barely recognizes. You need to drop it. Because religion built identity around titles, ministries, gifts, positions, achievement, appearances. But the Father builds identity around belonging, affection, intimacy, being known, being held, being loved. True identity begins where performance ends. Seeing yourself through the Father's eye. Every transformation starts from here. Identity is not discovered by looking inward. Identity is discovered by looking upward. Yes, stop looking inward, start looking upward, because you cannot define yourself by the standards of a world that never created you. You see yourself clearly only when you see yourself the way He does. He calls you beloved. He called you mine. He called you daughter and son. He called you the one I delight in. He called you the one I sing over. He called you the one I chose before time. This is who you were before fear taught you to hide and before religion taught you to perform. So, the freedom of knowing who you are when your identity is rooted in love is failure doesn't destroy you. Sin doesn't label you. Even if you have the sin in your life, they don't label you. Rejection doesn't define you. Comparison doesn't tempt you. Criticism doesn't crush you. Pressure doesn't manipulate you. Shame doesn't stick to you. Because your worth is no longer up for negotiation. You live from a place of emotional security, spiritual rest, relational confidence, identity stability. This is the foundation for everything that comes next. You cannot walk in your calling until you walk in your identity. You want me to repeat it again? You cannot walk in your calling until you walk in your identity. You cannot step into purpose until you step out of fear. You cannot reveal Jesus while hiding yourself. So, the beginning of becoming, book 7 begins with a true, powerful enough to reshape your entire life. You are not becoming someone new. You are returning to who you were before fear ever touched you, before religion ever touched you. And religion rules by fear. So, the child you are becoming, the child God dreamed, the art He formed, the identity He wrote, the soul He breathed on. This chapter is the rebuilding of the core, the unveiling of the real you, the planting of the deepest truth that you are loved, and nothing can unroot what God Himself has planted. I hope this message is clear enough and it's able to help you to make the right decision that will propel you into a relationship with Him. See you in chapter 2. God bless.